Hi folks, today's topic is around nutrition and specifically getting into ways in which we can be a bit more informative and actually make some decisions around nutrition, but also things that we can think about with regards to day-to-day and more like principle-based, okay? But if you're in that position where nutrition's a wee bit off and you're not quite sure where to start, or you've just yo-yo between maybe different diets, a really good place to start is to try and get some baseline. So the first couple of points are around you being in a position to make better decisions because you have the information, okay? You've essentially done a wee bit of homework, okay? But tracking for 3 to 5 days, there's the likes of MyFitnessPal, there's just basic pen and paper, or there's visually, maybe taking pictures of your meals. But essentially doing that for 3 to 5 days and even stretching it in so it covers a weekend will give you more information around your meal structure, gaps in your meals, maybe where you're not getting a kind of better balance around macros. From there, you can then make some decisions, okay? Prioritizing your protein with each meal, okay? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, protein shake, whatever it is. Always starting that meal with your protein source. Doesn't matter whether it's leftovers in a Tupperware box or you're sitting down at the table with a plate in front of you. Starting with your protein and building in your fruit and veg and your carbohydrates around that so that you can ensure that you're prioritizing your portions of protein as well, okay? Fruit and veg, like I say, we should be prioritizing fruit and veg with every meal. Plenty of color, okay, plenty of variety, and I'm sure like a lot of us, we all like certain things with regards to foods. There may be only 3 or 4 that you like. Just keep them in, keep recycling them, but aim for lots of color, greens, yellows, reds, purples, whatever it is, but go with whatever one you want. That's where you're getting all your micronutrients, which we then generally go to supplement for. There's foods there that provide all these things. Hydration, again, it's a big thing, might seem pretty obvious, but 2 to 3 liters of water a day is the kind of generalized kind of recommendation for most adults. The thing there is kind of similar to some of the other things. We want to maybe try and front load it and get maybe a third or if not half of your hydration maybe at the front end of your day before lunch. Basically so it's done and as your day goes on there's less of a need for you to be consuming lots of water and then run the risk that you're consuming too much late at night, okay? Prioritize your sleep, which again might seem like an obvious one, but if we've a better sleep routine, we have better energy, our mood's better, our decision making is better, which means we make better choices around our foods. And then we have a bigger impact on some of our training goals and our overall health, okay? The next list of things are things that do fit alongside if you were maybe tracking and doing some of those actions for maybe a week or so. But the other side of it is it's principles. Regardless of how our nutrition is, we should be trying to prioritize these things, okay? Training, number one. If we can find a routine with our training where that's the daily anchor habit and something we do every day, then we'll also start to make better decisions around our nutrition. That can vary, day to day. It could be 2 or 3 sessions where you're in the studio or you're getting your strength-based and training in. It could be 2 or 3 days alongside that where you're just out walking, taking the kids to the park, jumping on the bike, whatever that is. But accumulating that together over the week means you're active maybe 4 or 5 days a week, okay? The 80-20% rule, it could be 90-10 depending on the person, but essentially 80 to 90% of the foods we consume should be of more whole kind of sources, okay? Our meats, our fish, our eggs, Greek yogurt, fruit and veg, having our carbohydrates in there. And then the other 10 to 20% is things that we would consider treats, okay? Having a biscuit, chocolate, packet of crisps, slice of cake, having a bun with a cup of tea. Those things should be the smaller portion of what we consume throughout the week, okay? And I suppose to follow on from that, we can't eat, as adults, we can't eat like we're at a kid's party. We can't get away with the cake, the chicken nuggets, the pizza, the sweets, the fizzy juice. We can't get away with that every day. As a kid or as a teenager, you maybe get away with it. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's healthy for you, but body composition-wise, health-wise, you've more freedom to get away with it. As adults, we can't. Okay, so we need to have slightly more discipline around some of those decisions that we make. Stick to the basics, okay? Figure out the basics that work for you and repeat them. Don't complicate it, okay? Maybe a couple of these things work for a few weeks and that gives you a better baseline. And from there, we can start to build some better kind of daily principles around things that we do regardless, okay? But sticking to the basics, repeating them often is what's going to keep you kind of consistent over the long term, okay? Any questions about this, drop us a message.